My vision's still a bit bad, so I've had to make it a bit bigger. No, I don't. As I'm sure you'll soon gather, I don't get invited to many of these. And as Tom reminded me a little over a week ago, this is the most important speech of my life, other than my own wedding speech when I get there. Before I delve a little bit deeper, I would like to make some acknowledgements. Firstly, to the star of the show tonight, beautiful Bryoni Horston. Round of applause, everyone. Absolutely stunning. On that note, I'd personally like to thank Karen and Dave for raising such a wonderful woman for our Tom. And I'd also like to thank Alan Shilley for, well, you tried. You were doomed from the get-go. You didn't have much to work with. You did the best you could. Thank you to our beautiful bride's maid of honour, Tash, looking absolutely stunning tonight. Yeah. Alrighty. I'd also like to thank, who's not here at the moment, but Kate, who delivered the service today. It was absolutely phenomenal. What a beautiful wedding. To our photographers, Rebecca, Betty, who's here tonight as well, and Jamie, who's not here at the moment. I'd also like to take the time to thank Rach as well, because we got to the hotel room last night and Tom's like, have you packed your tie? And no, it was in my wardrobe back in Hamilton, so thank you to Rach for breaking in and rescuing me. I'd also like to take the time to thank Mr. Johnson over here. So Matt, who is one of Tom's colleagues, he was entrusted with the esteemed quest of organising the day that is the Bucks Day. So Tom did apologise to me, because traditionally I think this is something that a best man would do, but I was happy to sit back and enjoy a stress-free day. Now, I might provide a little bit of constructive criticism. There was a small amount of horsing around on the day. In fact, a lot of horsing around on the day, but all in all, you did a great job and I really appreciate it. Thanks. And last but not least, to our MC, there's no wedding without one, so Jara, round of applause. Making people clap. Pretty good, do this all day. Round of applause to our beautiful bar staff. Alrighty.
I'm trying to story, but
Right, there's a few. So before writing this speech, I had absolutely no idea where to begin, what to expect, what was involved with being a best man. So I did what any normal person would do, and I googled it. How to write a best man speech. In 0.076757777 milliseconds, the results were in. There was in excess of 160,000. Now, I didn't go through them all, but the top one was the one that was most appealing to me. Did you mean how to get rid of the bride so she doesn't steal your best mate away? No, I'm joking, that wasn't it.
I like it.
No, literally all I got from the Google search was humiliate the groom, but don't humiliate the bride. Now, I don't respond well to being told what to do, so we'll just let that one go. So, into the speech. I'm going to start from the very start, which is my very first encounter with Tom. My first encounter with Tom was a text message saying, "G'day mate, it's Tommy Horston." That's what he called himself back then. Quite cute. "Do you mind if I get a lift to Moorabbin with you on the weekend?" absolutely no idea who this Tom Watson character was, and being the polite person that I am, I decided to take a chance and offer this stranger a lift. A decision I very soon and almost immediately regretted. I picked up Tom and I had my parents with me in the car. They were pretty excited to come and watch our first VFL game. And I had to banish my mum to the back seat just so that we could get his legs to fit in, so she didn't appreciate that. As soon as the door closed, I literally thought someone had started a chainsaw. Umpiring, Cavendish, kitchens, bulkheads, screwdriver. I thought, fuck me. Who is this foghorn and why didn't anyone warn me? Driving along, we just passed the Pentland Hills, and I recall looking into the rear vision mirror. I made eye contact with my dad who was in the back seat. He just had this look and I could just tell what he was thinking. Just fucking crash the car and let's out of this misery, will you? Meanwhile, Essendon, Monterey, Golden Whistle, Russell O'Toole. Just didn't seem to stop. I thought to myself, I don't need to crash the car, he's not even breathing. Throughout the car trip, it's fair to say, I was getting pretty agitated. By which I had a bit of a migraine. But there was a moment where I guess the pity I was feeling towards Tom turned into admiration. I can remember and pinpoint the exact moment as we were driving past Albert Park. It's like one of those light bulb moments. I don't have many of them, but it happened. I remember thinking, here's this young kid. He's gone out on a limb, he's left home in this whole new world. He's chasing his dream. I thought that was a great thing to do and I really respected and admired that. It was that very moment which planted the seed for our relationship, which quickly blossomed into the most amazing friendship that I could possibly imagine. Into the bromance. How are you all doing? We're still late? I'd describe Tom and my relationship as, you know that old dog that has arthritis, it's flea-ridden, pisses and shits itself, only moves if there's food involved? I was that dog. But then he introduced this puppy. It's like playful, dopey, uncoordinated, still trying to find its feet. Then all of a sudden that decrepit old dog finds a new spring in its step and is provided with a new lease on life. My relationship with Tom has given me a sprightliness that I previously never had. Without a doubt, has provided me with some of the best years of my life. In such a short amount of time, Tom and I have created many amazing memories and shared many things, most of which are inanimate. Boss is looking at me weird over there. I've got a bit of explaining to do, it seems.
I don't know what it means, so...
So we've created many memories. Hiking, climbing mountains, being with Tom will take you to whole new highs. Training together on our many runs. Tom will push you to your limits and get the best out of you. Kayaking, bike rides, our regular Friday night date nights, which usually finish with me wheeling Tom home in a trolley. Our relationship became one of the best romances this world has ever seen. Becoming Facebook official, like Harry was to Lloyd, Tom and I were two peas in a pod. Now, you might have caught wind that the terminology I'm using describes our relationship in the past tense. And that's because I got a phone call one night. A phone call no best mate wants to hear. And I think it's been mentioned, this phone call, but there were some crucial points that weren't added. which I plan to reveal to you all tonight. My phone rang. I answered, "Bernsey, I've got a date tonight. She doesn't quite know how old I am, and I may need you to pick me up at midnight as I plan on drinking." Now, it's important to note that Tom held a probationary driver's license at this point in time. Tom informed me that if all went well, I would see him in the morning. And the phone didn't ring that night. Now, seeing Tom the next day was our usual for us to discuss the ins and outs of our dates. This one, however, had a few highlights. I'm going to do a bit of a rendition if you don't mind. I'll play Bryoni in this one. Oh my god, he's so tall. Is it in proportion? 2 hands.
Is it true?
So similar to Jara's story with Tom in New South Wales, the next few weeks went a little bit like this. Bryoni, BMW, new house, everything matches, accountant. But among Tom's chainsaw motor mouth, I was able to decipher some very important and meaningful points, which we're going to discuss tonight. That Bryoni was extremely intelligent, very switched on and goal-oriented, which was a big change from the previous experiences Tom has had. So about Tom. Tom is a talker, we'd all know that. He can talk the legs off an iron table. Anywhere you go, Tom will talk. Anyone you see, Tom will speak to him. He's a natural born storyteller. And although he does most of the talking, he does have a unique way of captivating his audience. Tom is extremely funny and very quick-witted. His head's about to explode. You might have to undo one of those buttons, mate. Tom is very punctual. If the gates open at 3, Tom will be there at 2:45 to see the gates open. Although his hairline won't get there until 1:15. Tom will be the first person to knock you off your bike when he turns without giving any warning. But he'll also be the first one to pick you back up and get you back pedaling. Tom's a very proud individual, and rightly so. We've heard about his work ethic, and with anything he does, he gives a 110%. He's very hungry all the time. No, he has a hunger and a drive and a passion, and I think this stems from Tom's late grandfather, Mr. Brumley, who would be so proud to see who the man you are today. Aim for the stars, because if you only make it to the horizon, you're still further than you ever thought you'd be. Tom's work ethic is second to none, and to find someone so like-minded is very special. To Bryoni, thank you for coming into our Tom's life. It gives me extreme comfort knowing Tom has found someone who can actually afford to feed him. No, from the bottom of my heart, I'm very happy that Tom has you. Thank you for not only providing a roof over his head, but giving him direction, and I think certainly has a bit more purpose in his life having you there. It would be fair to say that in Bryoni, Tom has found the female version of myself. Quiet, reserved, intelligent, successful. I'm not successful. Very good looking, but most importantly, has great taste in men.
You got a shovel in the back of your car, man.
Alrighty, so I'm sure you probably saw me sweating today profusely. I've been very anxious. Not due to the fact that I had to stand up and deliver the most important speech in my life, but because of probably my own internal conflicts, where I had this battle with myself and experienced negative self-talk and self-sabotaging thoughts that told me I wasn't good enough to be a best man. Thoughts that made me think that I wasn't worthy, that I didn't deserve to be. Now, it's only been within this month that I've been able to pick myself up, pull myself out of this treacherous mindset. And as a result, I've finally been able to acknowledge, understand and appreciate why and what it means for me to be here. And that's because Tom, my best mate, wanted me to. So, it's an absolute pleasure and a privilege and an honour to be up here tonight, mate. To be a part of this special day. So, to finish up, I wanted to do a bit of a toast. So if everyone can grab a drink.
Grab the bar.
Grab the bar, steal someone else's drink, if you have to. Now, I don't have any wise words of advice when it comes to love. I'm far from the epitome of a role model there, but Bryoni and Tom, I hope that your special day has been everything you dreamed of and much more. And I wish both of you all the happiness, good health and prosperity into your long, happy future together. To Mr. and Mrs. Horston. So, to conclude, once a queen, always a queen. Once a king, always a king. But once a knight is enough. Thank you.